Hi everyone, welcome to this demo where we will see how we can build a data pipeline using Ceph bucket notifications and KNative Serving functions. Let's start by describing our use case. Here is our scenario, which is very close to what's happening in hospitals where there are some research centers. Here we have an X-ray image, a new X-ray image that has been taken from the chest of a patient, and what we want to do is first to assess if there is a risk of pneumonia, then write this risk over the image, and then save it for later use for clinic usage, so for treatment of the patient. But what we want to do also is, if there is a risk of pneumonia that is over 80%, we want to anonymize the image and save it somewhere else, but this time for research usage. Okay, here is how this demo will work. We will have a new image, a new X-ray image that we will upload to a bucket, to the Ceph bucket called X-ray data in. This bucket is configured with a notification that sends a message to a Kafka topic whenever something happens inside this bucket. So here, when we create this image, there will be a notification sent to the storage topic telling us that there is a new image that we have to take care of. As a subscriber to this topic, we have a KNative event. This event will itself trigger a KNative function that will do two things. First, detect the risk of pneumonia, and then anonymize the data. First, with the message, with the information that it gets from the message, it will retrieve the image from the bucket. It will use an algorithm, an image recognition algorithm, to detect if there is a risk of pneumonia, assess this risk, and print it over the image, and then save the processed image to another bucket, which can be used by the clinic, by the clinical team. Then, if this risk of pneumonia is over 80%, what we do is that we consider that this is a good candidate for research. So what we do is anonymize the data, so blur some information inside the image itself, change the name of the image, and then we save it to another bucket, the bucket which will be used by the research team. Now let's see how we configure bucket notifications. To do this, I will use Postman, and I will begin by setting up the required authorization to be able to access the buckets. Then I will create the topic with a post request and some parameters such as the Kafka endpoint, where I will be sending the message and the name of the topic. And finally, the notification itself with a put request to the X-ray data in bucket with a configuration as an XML body. Now let's move on to the KNative part. First, we will create a secret where we will store the access key and the secret key for the buckets. Then we will create the KNative service that will use the container image of the function that will do the image processing, and we will pass it some parameters. And finally, we create the KNative eventing source, which will be a subscriber to the Kafka topic storage, and that will launch the X-ray service that we just created. If we look at the OpenShift UI on the X-ray project, we can see now that we have a pod running, which is the Kafka source, so the KNative eventing pod that will be listening to the storage topic. On the serverless section, we can see that we have the X-ray service that will be handling the requests. It has a revision that is ready. 3 conditions are met over 4. That means that we don't have a pod running yet. And there is even a source that has a route that has been created to be able to call this service if needs be. Well, now let's use it. So here I will first make sure that I have nothing in my bucket, in my anonymized bucket. If we run the command, we see that there's nothing. And then we will try to upload a new file to the bucket. So here I will upload a file that I know for sure will be with someone with pneumonia. And we see that it triggers a container creation for the X-ray service. The container is now running, so that means he will do his magic and process the image. So if we come back to the bucket and we list its content, we can now see that we have a new file that has been uploaded with a new name, with some information that have been hidden between the X that you can see there. And we will have a look now at the image to see what has been done. Here is the first image, the new image that we uploaded to the bucket. And if we look at it, we can see that it's an X-ray image indeed, with personal information that are part of the image. Then if we look at the processed image, so after image recognition, we can see that there is now some more information, such pneumonia with a risk of 100% that has been written onto the image, but we still have the personal information. And then the last image is the one that has been anonymized, and here we can see that all the personal information have been blurred on top of the image itself, the image name itself being rewritten to also hide any information that could be there. So that's how we've been able to fully automate this data pipeline by using Ceph notifications and KNative Serving function. I hope you enjoyed this demo. All the code and some more detailed information are on the GitHub repo. Thank you.